Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another best of 5 series in between the two pro players from the international scene. So yeah, let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. As you are spawning here in the upper right, in the yellow, it is MARU from South Korea. And its opponent spawning here in the upper left, in the purple, it is REYNOR from Italy. So interesting engagement here, Italy versus South Korea as the spawning here on Stargaze's ESL map. But these games have not been played on the ESL tournament. This is actually very recently from September, a nice best of 5 series like I told you. And yeah, let's just see what exactly the players have prepared for us, what exactly the build orders are going to be. Of course, REYNOR just checking the proximity now, just looking for those proxy barracks as he's moving out with his drone. It looks like a fast expansion drone, no spawning pool, no gas for him. So yes, indeed, around the 50-second mark we have that fast expansion for REYNOR. Let's check MARU really quick, a very beautiful color here for him, yellow it is, with a supply depot. Believe is actually going straight into a fast expansion, so no barracks here. We've seen these build orders in the recent GSL tournament, so fast expansion indeed it is going to be here for the Terran. A little bit of risky of course, but just in case the Zerg would have went into a fast spawning pool and extractor, MARU would have been in some early trouble in case there would have been 6 Zerglings coming towards his way. But he's feeling really confident. He went into the fast expansion. Let's just see how the things will unfold for him as he's continuing here with his barracks and with his gas. No scouting SCV yet for him. Slowly but steadily this one overlord is heading now towards the location from MARU. So quite an interesting and very greedy, a very nice build order here for MARU. Fast expansion it is. The scouting mission from this one overlord pretty much done here, as REYNOR feels of course really confident to continue with his build order around the 2-minute and 30-second mark. We do know of course that many Zergs like to go into their second expansion. So yeah, some gas, actually double gas is being mined here for MARU. He might try even to transition into some mechanical build orders. Let's see what his options are. Currently one Marine is being built, no Reaper. Overlord sees the fast expansion actually, so REYNOR now pretty much knows the timing here from his opponent. So yeah, quite an interesting strategy here by him, going for that orbital. Let's just see if this is going to be actually the new meta for the Terrans, a fast expanding build order here for them. After that going into a barracks factory and also a reactor. Double gas for them. There's the expansion from REYNOR, 2-minute and 30-second it is. So I believe REYNOR is now preparing for a macro-orientated game, but the same can be said here for MARU. He could even be even more greedier than this and actually add another command center into this location and be here protected, perhaps even build some supply depots in here just to have that protection towards his second expansion point. Yeah, but no such thing. Actually, MARU mining gas, so he's going pretty heavily into gas. Let's see what exactly his plans are going to be. Double hell it is. The production type is of course in the upper right. You can see everything just in case I'm missing something. There's this one starport, and yeah, let's have a look. Marine is of course patrolling. Let's just check REYNOR. Just queens for him, just Zerglings, no Banix nest. I don't see a roach warrant, and now he just started his speed for those Zerglings, so no attempts for him currently to harass the Terran. Of course that speed is really crucial, really important to attack the Terran, but interesting enough he did go for his upgrade for his overload speed, so he really wants to know what exactly MARU is up to. Look at that, even sending out 2 overlords into this location. Did he see that fusion core? No, and this fusion core might indicate to us that we are going to be seeing some battle cruisers, perhaps some ghosts, even some atomic bombs could be launched here by MARU. Let's just see. In come the overlord, and he's indeed going to see this, so he knows that something is coming towards his way. The Viking a little bit too slow for MARU, but hold on, actually at the same time MARU is moving forward with his Hellions. One Hellion really low and 2 drones have been started. More could actually follow. REYNOR tries his best to micro those drones, but it's really hard, and in the end only 4 drones have been killed. So very luckily here for REYNOR, actually 5 drones now, but yeah, that's a very good trade for REYNOR actually. Hellions are really strong and good, but they also cost a lot of minerals, and yeah, only losing 5 drones to that, it's pretty good. And there it is that second expansion point here for MARU, as the wall has also nicely been completed. So MARU might even try to go into this location, but of course this one would be much more safer. And yeah, REYNOR just keeps sending out wave after wave of those overlords as the first battle cruiser is actually being produced here by MARU. So very soon MARU will have a global task force here with some battle cruisers. Just, you know, they can teleport throughout the map, so where exactly the Terran had vision, they can of course teleport. So REYNOR might have to add those spores, he might have to add more of those queens. Even now the roach warrant is finally being finished here for REYNOR, so we might see also a timing push by him. Some roaches, some ravagers could be the possibility for him. And yeah, let's see if actually MARU is going to decide to attack straight forward with this one battlecruiser, or maybe he's going to add more battlecruiser. Interesting enough, he's actually going into 3 factories here, so quite an interesting build order. It actually reminds me of Broodwar, where actually players do go for their mechanical build orders, for their siege tanks, for the vultures and Goliaths, but in this case it might be tanks, it might be Hellions. Let's have a look what his plans are here. The first battlecruiser is out, just securing the proximity, and we see another expansion point. So MARU taking this expansion and this one as well, so both players of course respecting each other. And actually I didn't even see the second starport, so I guess I'm just a bad caster. There's 2 starports here for MARU, so what an interesting build order for him with 2 tech labs as the battlecruisers are now moving forward onto the map. So no teleportation yet for them. We even have Yamamoto gun being produced here, another battlecruiser. So yeah, Yamamoto, it is going to be here done really soon for MARU, one of the best Terrans, if not the best Terrans now. It has to attack with 2 battlecruisers. Let's just see if there's going to be any anti-air. Perhaps REYNOR is going to be needing many more queens here out. Let's see. Yes, he did has a very strong force of queens, but in come the battlecruisers. Yamamoto is not yet being done. 1 queen already taking quite some damage, but the other queens are nicely healing themselves up, so with good micro here for REYNOR as he's able to push such a strong force back by MARU. But remember, he has double starport, so he might even try to teleport into another location, so double harassment could be possible here for MARU. Quite an interesting and very rare scene sight here, battlecruisers versus a Zerg, and Yamamoto is going to be done really soon here for MARU as he's sniping more and more of those queen eggs and those roaches. Yeah, look at that. Yamamoto weapon refit is being done really soon. And yeah, let's just see what exactly is going to happen. Where is MARU going to be attacking? Is he going to perhaps try to split those battlecruisers into 2 groups? One perhaps in the lower left part, the others in the upper right. Of course, really hard to execute, but many Terrans are known for their multitasking. Currently he's just sending out some mechanics here to repair this one battlecruiser. And let's have a look where exactly he's going to be teleporting very soon. Yamamoto is also being done, so he might even try to snipe this one layer. It's of course very risky and very interesting. But yeah, let's just see what exactly is going to happen. Is he actually going to load over there? Let's just see, his Hellions are still out, so he's trying of course to engage here in the middle. He's trying of course to lure those queens out of the base. Pretty successful here, MARU, with his multitasking, with his Hellions all over the place. Yeah, in come the battlecruiser once again, but yeah, they will not teleport. I believe MARU is saving that teleport just to escape in case there will be some anti-air here for look at that, he indeed has a lot of anti-air. It is actually corruptors. So yeah, MARU is going to be in some serious trouble if he's not microing this one correctly. The corruptor is of course great versus the battlecruisers. Yeah, there is Yamamoto being used and now immediately teleporting out. At the same time, the Hellions have killed 9 drones here. They will be sniped, so nice engagement and great reaction here by Hero with his corruptors, of course eating some Yamamoto guns from the battlecruisers. And yeah, quite a strong force. And in come the corruptors. Let's just see, they're hunting of course for those battlecruisers, but they might have hidden towards another base. And yes, indeed, we do have massive amounts of vomits now, lots and lots of vomits here out of those corruptors. But yeah, in come the battlecruisers, nicely being microed. One corruptor has fallen, but the battlecruiser has been taken out here as well. SCVs try of course to repair those battlecruisers, lots and lots of damage. Not that much anti-air here for MARU, so he's in some serious trouble against so many corruptors. But yeah, in the end, the SCVs are here to hold the line, and MARU is going to escape. And even more battlecruisers with some cyclones. So the cyclones of course just to counter the corruptors there in the air. We even have a turret. So what an interesting first game we have here in this series, as REYNOR's creep spread is really strong with those creep eggs those queen eggs around the map. It's almost making it here forward towards the second expansion point. And yeah, in he comes. He might even try to vomit once again with those corruptors. Yes, indeed, vomit is being casted onto those towers. But yeah, MARU is being here with his Hellbats, with his tanks in the back, and even the battle cruisers. So yeah, nice stuff here by him. Let's just see what REYNOR is going to be deciding now. He's just spreading more of that creep. More and more queens will be laying down their eggs, of course. And yeah, let's have a look what exactly is going to happen here. The tanks are nicely being spreaded, just in case there are some banelings. But yeah, REYNOR just adds more and more of those Reapers, Ravagers. And yeah, let's see what exactly is going to happen. Another attack here. REYNOR going for the battle cruisers, going for the tanks as well with those fireballs. Yeah, in the end, a nice spread here for MARU will keep him at bay. And yeah, REYNOR has of course retreated, but at the same time he's actually expanded. He's taking the 6 o'clock position here around the 10-minute mark. Quite an aggressive expansion here behind him. Of course, he's not going to allow those turrets to be finished, but yeah, so many tanks are being laid down here by MARU. So MARU pretty much with a all mechanical build order versus the Zerg. Very rare sight. Usually Terrans really like to go into mass marines with those medivacs. Let's see if this is going to work out for him. Nice engagement here. Once again, in comes the battle cruiser. One is getting microed out. REYNOR tries of course to punish this one expansion, but the planetary fortress has just been finished. He's even more vomiting onto this one with those corruptors. Lots and lots of damage being taken in the end. The planetary force, but at what cost here for REYNOR, as he's also taking quite some damage out of those battle cruisers and the tanks. So still a fair trade. REYNOR looking really strong with his almost 18 workers versus the 82 for MARU. But the expansion has fallen, and let's not forget that REYNOR is taking here his gold base. This is going to be a really important base down there. Yeah, let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. The SCVs are nicely repairing all of those units, so I believe this is the plan from MARU. It's going to be massively repairing those units. As yeah, in comes REYNOR once again with his Zerglings, with his queens and his corruptors in the air. The corruptors straight for those battle cruisers. In come the Zerglings. The spread is pretty good here by MARU as he holds his ground, and he is going to be able to push back once again REYNOR. So REYNOR trying, but the Cyclones are also dealing quite great amounts of damage, and the battle cruisers are really tanky in the air. Yeah, nice job here by MARU holding his place. Not that much has been left actually here for REYNOR. He needs to be careful not to lose many units. Perhaps he's going to decide to transition into some other units, perhaps some Ultralisk, perhaps some the flying units from the Corruptors, the Broodlords. The Broodlords will also be really strong here. Let's have a look. This is trying of course to target down this planetary once again, but yeah, MARU nicely defending, and even having now around 7 battle cruisers. Yes, 7 indeed, so Yamamoto could be nicely used, and the battle cruisers are actually moving out. Not that much anti-air now from REYNOR. He's trying to target the battle cruisers. And let's see, the tanks, the Cyclones also with their laser guided missiles here are intact. And yeah, I believe MARU just scanned this location. He might come here forward. I believe Yamamoto is not even being needed there. So let's see what his plans are. REYNOR still holds his position, still spreads that creep eggs, but those tanks in the back are nicely being guarded. We even have some snipers now on the ground. So let's see, the in come the battle cruisers just flying here forward, sniping some drones, just casual flyby here, just snipe the hatchery. But yeah, in comes some corruptors, not that high amount of corruptors, and Yamamoto gun once again is going to be used just to snipe those corruptors. Really nice job here by MARU, losing one battle cruisers, but in the end it was much needed there. Yeah, let's have a look what exactly is going to happen here. MARU looks like it's not been finished. Perhaps he's going to try to snipe this one hatchery with Yamamoto gun, but no, he's just moving here forward. He still has teleportation still available, I believe. Yes, indeed, there it is. And yeah, nice job here by MARU, showing us the advanced technology here for the Terran as they're being able to teleport out of danger. Yeah, even a nice wall of being prepared here for the Terran as he's going into his upgrade. So slowly but steadily we're closing the 15-minute mark. Quite an interesting game. 9 drones have been sniped. MARU showing us the strengths of those battle cruisers with that Yamamoto gun. Oh yeah, let's have a look how REYNOR is going to be reacting to that. He still has Zerglings, he still has Ravagers with Roaches, but how can he pass by as there are some tanks in the back? So even some medivacs, actually heavily into medivacs now by MARU, as he might get a good flank here with those Hellbats on the ground. The Cyclones also dealing good amounts of damage. Let's not forget that he also has those snipers on the ground, so yeah, might even see some nuclear launches here as MARU has pretty much had enough of that creep spread, and slowly but steadily he's pushing here forward with his tanks versus his opponent. And yeah, lots and lots of upgrades for the Ghost, I believe it is. Even some Ravens are being produced. Of course, you can see the upgrades in the upper left part. And they're sniping, really nice sniping here by MARU versus those units. And yeah, more and more snaps are going on. The Ravagers are really taking quite some damage. And what exactly does REYNOR have against this all mechanical build orders from the Terran? Lots and lots of damage. Very tanky here. And yeah, in come the Corruptors coming once again. Teleport, I believe, is not being able yet. And there are no SCVs on the ground. So yeah, MARU just holds his ground, but there are still Cyclones in the air. The Cyclones just to counter those Corruptors. Yeah, the battle cruisers are still showing us, and even some Thors have been added. So tanks, Thors, battle cruisers and snipers. What a great mix of units here for the Terran. But we see a great fungal against the Ghosts. And even great sniping with those Ravagers. In come the Thors. Yeah, just like those Transformers here. So yeah, nice unit to have, of course, in the late game for the Terran. I believe they even deal splash damage, so really great job. And 9 drones have been sniped once again, but still REYNOR having 75 workers versus 85. And importantly enough, his gold base is still up. The battle cruisers have to retreat, they have to be repaired, as I believe, yes indeed, the mechanics are already waiting here at home to repair those units. And yeah, see more and more of those Thors. Of course, like I told you, a strong unit you have, like a Transformers. I believe most of you guys have seen Transformers into the movie, so quite a nice unit to have here for the Terrans. So yeah, let's have a look what exactly the next planners are going to be. MARU nicely just repairing, and he's refreshed now. And I believe he will try once again to move here forward towards another expansion point. Of course, this base is really important at the 6 o'clock position, so I believe this is going to be the next target. REYNOR tries, of course, a nice flank, but what does he have? Just some Roaches, just some Ravagers, some Zerglings. Is this going to be enough? He needs, of course, more Infestors, perhaps more Vipers. Vipers could be really deadly against those battle cruisers with a parasitic bomb. And yeah, REYNOR just decides to abandon this base. And let's have a look what exactly this is going to be. Meaning still same worker count here, 120 supply versus 120, so pretty balanced. But yeah, difference here for the Terran is pretty heavily going, actually only going for mech units. This actually reminds me of Kumiho, who has done this a couple of times. He was actually the first one doing mass mechanical build orders towards the Terran in Starcraft 2. But MARU also adding a nice mix with Hellbats, with the snipers in the back. And let's have a look, this one expansion is really important that we see some Seeker missiles now being used as well for those Ravens. And yeah, in comes the battle cruiser. Some Yamamoto could be used. These long distance Yamamoto against those Corruptors. Really nicely done here by MARU, as REYNOR is more and more under siege. So let's see, is he going to be holding? Some tanks are here, so it's just 4 force, 3 tanks, some snipers, some Hellbats, and the important unit, of course, the battle cruisers. But they're nicely being fungled, and so much splash damage out of those Ravagers. So here we have the counter from REYNOR. Fungals with those Ravagers balls, the fireballs, dealing so much damage. And we have a strong engagement here in the left part of the map. So much damage being taken left and right. Those are really tanking in the back. The Ravagers pretty much depleted their fireballs, and the battle cruisers pretty much alive. One even being able to escape, but there's so many Corruptors in the air for REYNOR. This is going to be able to snap so much of those battle cruisers. But still, the snipers are in the game. Now the Corruptors are pretty much useless on the ground. They will be able to snap some air units, some medivacs, but in the end there's Thors, there's tanks who are still alive here. So the Corruptors might try to counter here MARU. They might try to attack, they might try to vomit onto this one planetary fortress. So yes, indeed, it should be a vomit. Yes, indeed. No, he just, interesting enough, cancelled this one. So perhaps a misclick here by REYNOR. Perhaps he just feared some anti-air in. And let's have a look. He's very likely going to regroup his units here. And yeah, the tanks are pretty much exposed. So REYNOR still, of course, into his game with his strong economy. And let's see what exactly is going to happen. Some tanks will be snapped, so really important pickups here by REYNOR as he's trying a counter-attack. But yeah, in come the snipers. Of course, they have energy, they can kill those units. And yeah, quite a great game number 1 here for those players. It's interesting enough, sadly here for REYNOR. He needs to be careful. He's losing Corruptor after Corruptor. Yamamoto once again being used. And yeah, more and more Corruptors will fall here for him, so he has to be more patient and more careful here with his units. This is once again moving out, but yeah, the snipers are in position. And let's see what's going to happen. as they're being able to take out some of those roaches. So very important unit to have. Of course, you just trade energy versus a kill. So pretty nice job here, as we see the Thors are still inbound some tanks, so still the same units. Let's see, this area has been scanned. I believe this is going to be perhaps the next target here for MARU. The snipers are in the front, no nuclears launch have been added yet. Nice fungals, but great EMP just to counter that. Still the fungals are really strong by REYNOR. This is once again pretty much under siege, sniping against the queens. Let's see, perhaps REYNOR is going to try for an attack. The battlecruisers have teleported here, so siege tanks are being backed up now by those Thors, by the snipers. Lots and lots of drones are being killed. 2 battlecruisers here, so we're MARU just pretty much all over the place here, sieging against REYNOR. Yeah, REYNOR in some serious difficulties, as MARU now has 20 more workers than him. So what exactly can the answer be here from REYNOR versus this ongoing siege and the Thors here? At the same time, the reinforcements are coming forward. This hatchery has been sniped here, and once again, this time MARU actually long distance mining this base here, so quite a strong game by him. This is moving forward with his units towards the next attacking point. REYNOR adding some Zerglings, he still has some Ravagers. The Infestors will of course be really important, but what can they do against EMP? Yeah, there it is, there's that EMP, so just one small fungal against the Medivacs could, and the fireballs, and in the end in come the battlecruisers just straight teleporting here above everyone. So what a great teleport here, what a nice finish here for MARU, just finishing his style with a teleportation with those battlecruisers, and I believe Yamamoto would have also been seriously done here. So yeah, 22 more workers, of course REYNOR has to GG out. So yeah, great game number 1. Let's just jump straight into game number 2. And we're back with game number 2. MARU spawning here in the upper right as the yellow Terran, and his opponent in the lower left in the purple. It is REYNOR from Italy, so quite a strong game number 1. Massive amounts of mechanical units for MARU. Great harassment with those battlecruisers, and yeah, in the end he had 4 Thors, I believe, 3 tanks, some Hellbats, and let's not forget those snipers. So yeah, quite an interesting build order by him, quite an interesting strategy by him, not opting to go for some Marines, for some Medivacs harassment, straight into those mechanical build orders. So let's have a look if things will change here in game number 2. Let's have a look what exactly his strategy is going to be, and this time he's actually not going for a fast expansion, he's heading straight towards this first barracks. So yeah, no decision by him, no greedy gameplay here for him. In the meantime, REYNOR opening up really normal with his fast expansion. Now of course he is very likely going to continue with a spawning pool and gas. You can see of course the build order in the upper left part, gas here for MARU as well. And yeah, quite like a dojo, very exciting game number 1 with those, yeah, especially those battlecruisers. It's a very rare sight, especially if you see 7 to 8 battlecruisers with Yamamoto. It's really exciting to see. Let's have a look what exactly the next steps are going to be, what exactly the build orders are going to be. REYNOR searching for the proxy barracks, no such thing as his first overlord also makes it out here on the map. Really soon he's going to be able to scout the proximity here for MARU. So yeah, MARU with his scouting SCV as well, and this other SCV is also prepared here for his expansion. So yeah, the SCV is really important for the Terran, just to see exactly if there is an expansion or not for the Zerg. So yeah, just to check exactly the build order. So yeah, this is why MARU decides of course to walk out with his SCV. Let's check his main. He's also continuing with a factory, he might also continue with a starport. And yeah, interestingly enough, in game number 1 he had 2 starports, right? It's very rarely seen. Of course, pumping out those battlecruisers really nicely. And yeah, let's see, he's also adding a reactor here. Gas is up. Let's check REYNOR really soon. He's going for a double queen. Of course, the queen is really strong in the early game, just to defend and just to spread that creep, and also inject larva. So much needed unit here for the Zerg. And yeah, let's have a look what the next plans are going to be here for REYNOR. Actually going for another expansion point around the 2-minute and 30-second mark. So just like in game number 1, the pretty standard open up here for the Zerg, as MARU is about to finish his expansion as well, and he's going for a starport. So no attempts into a second expansion, straight into another starport. We see some Hellions, we see some Marines, and some Zerglings are also moving here forward, so this could be really annoying against the SCVs. but there is one Marine out, so, and even one Hellion, so of course REYNOR has to retreat, especially against this one Hellion. It's really a strong unit to have against the Zerglings. So nice spread here by REYNOR, showing us his skills into microing. But yeah, let's have a look what his real plans are here into his main. He's going for his speed, no other buildings are being done, just this one expansion. More and more creep eggs will be laid down, of course, just to spread that creep around the map. And yeah, really important to create that highway towards your enemy as a Zerg. So let's see what exactly the plans for MARU are. It's going for a reactor and one starport here, this time with Medivac, so no intentions into a nuclear fusion here for him, no intentions to go for battle cruisers. And yeah, he actually went 3 factories in game number 1, so let's see. He's perhaps going to transition into some Marines, perhaps he's going to hit triple barracks now, could be a possibility. And what is going to be the reaction from REYNOR? He would have to go for some Banings, for some Roaches, some Ravagers once again. Even Ultralisk could be a nice idea for the Zerg. And yeah, speed has finally been done, so both players of course nicely respecting each other here. Some Hellions are inbound, he might try to snipe some units, but yeah, the Queens, like I told you, really strong into that early game. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen. The Zerglings might try to get a good surround here against the Hellbats, the Hellions here, but yeah, microing. MARU is really microing very nicely here, even adding so much splash damage against those Zerglings. At the same time, he's also moving out with this one Medivac with Marines, so even catching me off guard. Even some mines are here, but luckily here for REYNOR, he's reacted really fast and he was able to snipe this one and drop. Same time, of course, he has to add this one Spore just to keep his drones alive here in the back. So let's have a look. The villains are of course still on standby. The drones might get targeted. It's 5 Hellbats. And nice reaction here by REYNOR, nicely blocking the entrance. A very smart move here by him, as the Queens are still inbound just to defend here. So yeah, more and more creep is getting spread. Let's check MARU really quick. His main is actually going for mass barracks, so it's going to be infantry unit composition here by him. Mass Marines, I believe it's going to be with those Medivacs. Even has a Raven just to snap the creep eggs as much as possible, so not allowing that spread of that creep here, but it's really hard to be executed. So yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing at the 10-minute mark. Let's just see more and more harassment is being prepared here for MARU. He has those Medivacs, he has the Marines, the wall of is nicely being prepared. The up is also going online, and yes, he's actually going into mass Marines with some tanks, so this could be a timing push for MARU. We've seen this many Terrans do with those tanks being hid in the back, so let's see, more and more creep is getting snapped here, so nice job by him. There's still Queens here in position, so Queens here as well. And let's see if there's going to be some Roaches being done. Actually, we have a Banix nest being done, some hatcheries as well, some drones, some Zerglings. And let's have a look. So yeah, no Roaches yet for him, as Stimpack is being finished quite around the 6-minute mark. So very soon we might see MARU push out here with his Medivacs, with his tanks. Let's have a look when exactly the timing is going to be. Yes, around the 6-minute mark he is pushing out with his infantry, but where exactly is he going to be attacking? Or perhaps he's just going to take control of the middle of the map. Currently this one Raven taking quite some damage, so Hellions have been surrounded, so REYNOR with some great pickups here. And sorry about this one. Okay, hold on, it's just an update here, so just a second. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I just had a Windows update there, so yeah, here we go, the stim is up. MARU is just kiting nicely back and forward. Those tanks are in the back. The tanks will be of course the real damage dealers and the real protection for that infantry as he's moving now forward. Sorry, another update there. Just a pop-up here. So yeah, let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. MARU is in control, he's in position, he has the stim. Tanks are nicely being there in the back, being protected. A nice spread even now by those Marines. Of course, it's really important to spread those Marines. And then more and more Queens will fall here for REYNOR. Finally, income the Banix, income the Zerglings. Will be enough. MARU is picking up, he's going to transition, but the tanks are still alive in the back, so that was really important for MARU. Keep those tanks alive, and quite a strong force of those Marines are still being alive, so REYNOR in some serious early damage. And this one tank, I believe, he even had 14 kills. So yeah, MARU taking it with a nice timing push around the 6-minute mark. Sorry about that update from, it was WinZip, I believe. I just installed WinZip to cast some other games to have a series, so yeah, Nice timing push. 13 drones have been killed. MARU with a great push here, punishing REYNOR. 2-0 for him. Let's just jump straight into game number 3. And we're back with game number 3, this time in the purple in the upper right. It is REYNOR from Italy, and his opponent here in the lower left in the yellow, it is MARU from South Korea. Sorry about that update. I believe the screen would have been black for a couple of seconds, missing a little bit of that timing push out by MARU, but yeah, MARU really nicely. Just having 2 tanks, that was enough for him. 2 tanks and some infantry. Of course, Stim really important, and the fact how he microed those Marines out of danger with those medivacs just was pretty much outstanding. And yeah, one tank having 14 kills, the other tank also I believe had around 20 kills, so it's really important to have those tanks, and more important to have those medivacs just to evacuate your infantry. So let's have a look how things will unfold here. If REYNOR is losing this game, it's going to be 3-0, so the series will go to MARU, so REYNOR has to perhaps go for another strategy. Let's have a look what his plans are. He's going for the same build order, fast expansion for him, pretty much soon to be continued with a spawning pool and gas. And also let's have a look at MARU. I don't see a barracks yet for him, so yes indeed, once again this greedy build order, just like in game number 1. He might once again try to go for those battle cruisers, the tanks and the Thors. We might see him once again go for those mechanical build orders, very rarely seen, and quite a strong lesson for any Terrans who are out there, that mechanicals build orders work actually in Starcraft 2, just like in Broodwar versus the Zerg. So let's see if this are indeed his plans. There is this barracks, there is gas, another gas is actually being built for him, so it looks like the same build order. Let's just see if he's going to surprise us once again with some battle cruisers, or what exactly his plans are. The spawning on Tropical Sacrifice, nice map here with very beautiful water here in the middle of the map, so nice map here, as spawning pool is about to get finished really soon for REYNOR, and he might also go for his second expansion point at around the 2-minute and 30-second mark. So yeah, let's see if this is going to be finished. So everything is pretty much very brutal here for MARU, so it's pretty much could be punished by REYNOR with some Zerglings, but of course many Zerglings really like to go for their macro game. They like to defend their bases with those queens, and they even like to add that second expansion point, just like I told you, around the 2-minute and 30-second mark. So it's quite risky of course for the Terran to go for that fast expansion, but MARU feeling really confident here in game number 3, adding his factory. Let's check what more he's going to be adding. Check the workers, 22 versus 25, as the first overall is also making his move here towards the base. And yes indeed, there is that second expansion point for REYNOR. So REYNOR once again preparing an macro oriented game, but he needs to change his tactics, needs perhaps to transition into some other units. Perhaps he's going to go into more infestors, more vipers. Of course we've seen how strong those units are by SERRAL, especially against the Protoss, especially against the Protoss fleets, against the carriers, against the other Tempests, and yeah, Fungus was slowing everything down, and Parasitic Bomb damaging so much of the units. Let's have a look if REYNOR is indeed going to be trying something different. Of course a surprise could also be some Mutalisk. We do know that Mutalisk are really fast and very agile, but they're also really fragile. So yeah, let's see. This is going to be his build order. Some Zerglings are being spawned as... Let's have a look at MARU once again. He's going actually for his second expansion point. There is this Starport Barracks. Factory Helens, of course it is going to be for him. And yeah, no nuclear site yet for those battle cruisers. Let's have a look as the first Helens are moving out. So yeah, but there are some queens of course in position. There should be some queens here for REYNOR, so yeah, queens really strong, really tanky against the Helens. But the Helens, I believe MARU just wants to scout the map here as well. A nice sandy map here with lots and lots of flowers and crystals as well here. So let's have a look what the next strategy here is going to be. Still no tier 2 upgrade for REYNOR. He might once again stay into those Zerglings, into those queens, perhaps going for some banings, perhaps going for some surprises versus his opponent. And yeah, let's just check once again. MARU real quick, triple barracks expansion is about to get finished, and yeah, still no nuclear fusion here for him, so we're not going to be seeing some battle cruisers, or at least not yet. As yeah, some Viking is going to try to hunt some overlords. I believe one overlord has been killed by him, as Reynor was for a small amount of time. Supply blocked 40 workers versus 47. Let's just check the main once again. Still, perhaps he made it tier 2. Yes, indeed. So he's actually nicely hiding this one tier 2. As MARU might even try to scan the main from Reynor, but a nice hidden tier 2 by Reynor into this location. So really smart gameplay by him. Baning's Nest, I don't see a Roach Warrant yet, and Steam is once again about to get finished really soon by MARU, so we might see once again a timing push by him with some Marines, with some Marauders, even double Medivacs. And as he did, he's going really heavily. Now he's actually going, just like in game number 2, really heavily into those infantry units. Mass Marines it is going to be, but he needs some tanks, of course. Goes for his reactor here, so he might go double tank. Might even go for some Helens. Some Widow Mines would also be an interesting idea. So yeah, MARU, just like in game number 2, I believe he's going for that same strategy here. It looked really strong, but we do have an early Baning's Nest here for Reynor. Let's just see what the next plans are going to be. So going to be clearing this way at the same time. MARU expanding into this location as slowly but steadily we're closing at the 10-minute mark. And Reynor even taking this one hatchery, and I believe MARU is of course preparing now. Move out. He might try to pick up some Helens, but no, he just leaves them behind at home to defend. At the same time, Reynor looking like a little bit more aggressive now with his Zerglings. Where exactly could he attack this location? But MARU seems to be ready for that with those Hellbats. And yeah, the first drop is being prepared. We might see some scans just to kill those Queen Eggs. Steam is already being used, so the Marines are really fast. But Reynor very near with his Banelings, with his Zerglings as well, and needs to be careful, of course, not to lose them. At the same time, he's also attacking here with so many Zerglings. The Zerglings actually made it here forward into the expansion point from MARU. MARU nicely microing those SCV, clumping them up together, but in the end some SCVs will fall, 2 of them. So many Zerglings are falling here as well. So a good defense by MARU and great reaction with those SCVs nicely being clumped up together. Sadly for Reynor, he didn't have any Banelings. Banelings would have been, of course, really deadly against those clumped up together SCVs. As we see another push out with some Helens now. Medivacs are still here, and Hellbats it is indeed going to be here for MARU. 136 HP, and we see 55 now for the still Marines as they're moving here forward. But so many Queens ready to protect this expansion. They're in the air, but the Hellbats are of course very tanky in the front. Banelings getting some good connection against the Hellbats, but still the force is really strong for MARU. As the Banelings, interesting enough, I don't know what exactly they hit there. A nice job here by MARU taking out those Banelings. And I believe there was a Widow Mine, so indeed a Widow Mine. I didn't even notice that MARU had some Widow Mines there, so great counter against those Banelings, against the Zerglings as well. Even the Viking has dropped here, and we actually see 16 SCVs have been killed. So I believe this has happened here somewhere, so sadly taking me off guard. Some Banelings very likely moved here forward for Reynor. Was such a lucky move out by him. Perhaps they even went off those stairs here and into this one expansion point. So sorry about this one, missing this one. 16 workers have been killed, and MARU dropping to 56 here, so he really has to make something happen. Of course he's really strong. He has a strong army, 70 supply of an army, but yeah, those Banelings just kept rolling forward, and Zerglings now will be sniping some mines. The in comes once again MARU with his Steam Marines. The Viking takes some damage out of the Banelings, but he's still pretty much alive with 4 kills here. Steam Marines, and we actually see some Hydros now on the ground. No new place here. Hydros it is going to be for Reynor, as he might try to go for some Lurkers as well. And finally we see now the tactic here from Reynor, producing those Banelings next to this Artosilope. So yeah, nice game here by both players, as we're really soon going to be seeing lots and lots of more splash damage being done here against MARU. So MARU really has to leave some units behind to defend, as he's now multitasking, attacking on double fronts. But yeah, so much of those Queens here, and Banelings are of course as well here. So MARU has to kite here very soon. We'll very likely have to pick up. He's spreading his Marines, and he's moving just forward. At the same time, another task force is moving here forward for him. So Reynor once again pretty much under siege here by MARU, as we're closing at the 10-minute mark. But there's so many Hydros in the air. Those will be a great counter against those Medivacs. And nice again, a great kiting here by MARU left and right, even spreading those units. So such a great lesson into micro and how to micro those Marines, and the Widow Mine is almost already to go up here. So yeah, in comes MARU once again with his second task force, but REYNOR has the high ground here. There's also many Zerglings, and there are no tanks sadly here for MARU, so he has to rely on his infantry. As income the paintings, income the Zerglings, but yeah, it's a nice wall being prepared here by MARU. Just like in the movie 300, he had a better position here with this one rocks next to him, and the Widow Mines are getting some good connections. Once again, another attack here. So many Hydras here versus those Marines, but the Queens are here to support. They're nicely hitting everything up here. Really nice job here by REYNOR, as more and more of that creep is getting spreaded. But yeah, he has to go back into creep just to be able to heal up. So nice job here by REYNOR with Hydras here, even healing the Hydras. So nicely done here by him, as he's now also regrouping in the middle of the map with some banelings. Not that much being left here for MARU, as MARU still has to lick those wounds out of the banelings versus the SCVs. 16 SCVs have been killed, so the timing push has pretty much been crippled here by REYNOR. But yeah, let's see for how long he's able to hold. There's so many units here in the lower left part. At the same time, in comes REYNOR with his Zerglings going for this one expansion point. MARU is able to react. Same time, REYNOR is being able to push back here MARU, and he also take out this expansion. So much better game number 3 here for REYNOR versus his opponent. He's nicely kiting here by MARU, as he still keeps that infantry alive. Bureaucracy here, but so much of that Zerg units being left here as they surround here this hatchery into some sort of a ritual, perhaps, just to get some more strength, some more energy out there. And yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, in comes REYNOR. He's attacking here those infantry, and yeah, MARU finally decides to pick up his units and to go back. So what a great game here by the Italian player, as he's able to hold this position. No lurkers being produced by him, straight into Hydras. So we have Hydra Link Bane. Very interesting strategy for the Terran, sorry, for the Zerg. So let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. More and more hatcheries are being spawned, more banelings are being spawned here as well. As in comes the other task force here by MARU towards the upper middle part. He needs to be careful, the banelings are ready here to engage. There is no creep here, so he's nicely kiting back and forth. No anti-air here, but MARU really has to pick up those units really soon. And to get out, he also has to evade those Hydras here. So very rare sight here by REYNOR with his Hydras. Of course, many Zergs do like to go for lurkers, but REYNOR stays close to those Hydras as he's going to drop here. At the same time, some Zerg is moving here forward, but there's a Widow Mines to defend. Again, now finally MARU with a better position here, but in come the Hydras from the back, and the banelings also try to get some connections. So yeah, MARU once again has to pick up and retreat. Same time he's moving here forward. Just a couple of queens, they might get sniped here, so nice job by MARU. But yeah, in the end, a much better game here for REYNOR versus the best Terran currently in the world. Some SCVs will fall here as well, as the Bane is getting some good connections, and look at that, such a great connection. MARU not be paying attention. The second time he's lost 16 workers, or 32 workers in total have been lost here for him. So quite strong stuff here by REYNOR, as I believe he just hit those Zerglings here into this location just to spawn the banelings, and yeah, just moved here forward to snipe the SCVs. So let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. Nice high ground advantage here for the Zerg. He's able to snipe some units. One lone Marauder needs to run for his life before he's going to die. I believe he's going to take out the Zergling. No, almost there. As MARU still tries to find a good position here for his units on to these maps, but yeah, so much being added here by REYNOR. At the same time, another task force heading straight towards this one hatchery taking quite some damage, but the banelings are coming in here forward and punishing him. MARU punishing for taking out that hatchery. I believe it was not worth it here for him to lose so much of a huge amount of that infantry. At the same time, in comes MARU once again, but we do have lurkers now, and that is really impossible to bust here forward, and there are so many spores here as well. So REYNOR nicely thinking about everything just to defend the location left and right. And yeah, there it is. MARU realizes this as he has dropped so low into those workers. I believe 32 workers indeed has been snapped. So REYNOR with a much better game, a much greater multitask, punishing the economy, crippling the economy from MARU. 32 workers down, and in the end the Hydras are the real winning unit here for REYNOR. And we're back with game number 4. Currently the score is 2-1 for MARU. REYNOR has to win, of course, many more games just to stay intact into this great series. There's this point here on inside and out, so in the upper right part in the yellow it is MARU from South Korea, and from Italy in the lower left in the purple it is REYNOR. Yeah, once again, let's just be very careful here about the build orders. Perhaps something different is going to happen here. Let's just see exactly what the plans from the two players are here. And yeah, of course the first overload is really soon out, just to scout for those proxy barracks. But it's been a while since I've seen MARU to go for those proxy barracks, as once again he's deciding to go really standard into barracks and gas first at his home base. REYNOR once again with the same build order just like in previous games. Yeah, those hydras are really strong over him, so he might even try to stay once again into hydras, might even try to add some vipers, some infestors, would also be very interesting. But then again, I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing, as I believe he's the second best Zerg in Europe after SERRAL, of course, the world champion. So yeah, let's have a look what exactly the next plans are going to be here for both players. Gas is being mined. REYNOR should continue with his spawning pool and his gas as well, so the pretty standard stuff. And let's also check if there's going to be a second expansion point. It should be, of course, be made by REYNOR. So the pretty standard stuff. A nice map here inside and out with great lava here. Very beautiful looking map here with some rocks, debris actually as well. And the scouting SCV is also moving out here for MARU at around the 1 minute and 40-second mark. He's also going for his expansion. Let's check his main. Should be a factory into starport, or he might even try to go for another expansion point really soon. Yeah, there's this one factory, and the spawning pool is also about to get finished. Some gas is being mined for that speed, but he could also transition into some roaches. Be a nice roach timing attack here by REYNOR. But yeah, let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. Currently some queens are being spawned, of course, and yeah, we do see a factory here for him and a second refinery for MARU. So this is his build order. Let's see what the next buildings are going to be. Perhaps a starport, but some Terrans will like to go into another expansion point. Exact same can be said here for REYNOR, opting to go for the 6 o'clock, so not staying very close into his main. It's actually going a little bit more far out on the map with his expansion. As the first queens are, of course, out, they will be able to spread that creep around the map really nicely. Speed is being now just started for the Zerg, so the pretty standard stuff. No harassment early on, nothing out of the ordinary, no proxy barracks, and we actually see a starport. So the pretty standard stuff, like I told you, pretty standard build order for both players. One barracks into factory and starport here for MARU, and the same can be said here, of course, for REYNOR. Just like in the previous games, the pretty standard stuff here for him. Second expansion point is up. More and more queens are being followed here really soon by him. And the first Zerglings should be out, as well as the creep is nicely being spreaded here by REYNOR. So REYNOR, just like he has shown us in the game number 2, I believe it was, his creep spread is really on point here. Creating that creep highway is really important. Have so much creep on the ground just to make your units much more faster. And yeah, let's have a look what the next buildings are going to be. We see this hatchery about to get finished. No other buildings, so no Baning's Nest, no roach warrant yet for him. Going really heavily into those queens. And let's just check MARU. Double Hellions, though this could be a drop with his spawn medivac into those Hellions. Let's have a look. Some Marines are out here as well. And actually he's going to pick up the Marines with the Widow Mine once again. So it's a double attack. This one override actually buying some time here for REYNOR, so sacrificing himself for a couple of seconds. And let's see where exactly MARU is going to be attacking. Perhaps this location is nicely being guarded here by REYNOR with those queens. And let's have a look when exactly he's going to be attacking. Currently he's just sniping some overalls. Of course the overalls count a lot as they might keep him supply block. Stillness just started, so this is really important for the Terran. This is being able to be pushed back here by REYNOR. So REYNOR with a quite strong defense. Where are those Hellions? Yeah, there they are. So the Hellions could be a really strong force here for MARU. Heading towards the other points, we do have a Baning's Nest finally being made here for REYNOR as in come the Hellions into this location. So yeah, let's just see the queens, of course, are really tanky against the Hellions, so they should be able to push this back. Queens here as well, so yeah, all queens all over the place. All REYNOR nicely spreading those queens, and just to secure this expansion point. And let's have a look we do see a Raven, so MARU of course wanting to snap the creep eggs from REYNOR, and actually MARU once again going really heavily into those infantry units, so massive amounts of barracks for him. I believe the counter towards that is indeed going to be once again Hydros with lurkers with banings for REYNOR. Let's see if he's going actually to do the same strategy just like in game number 3, as yeah, the villains are nicely punishing here the creep spread with his one important unit with the one Raven on the ground. But yeah, more and more creep is being spreaded on the other side of the map, so REYNOR, very smart gameplay here by him, but MARU will of course try to stop this creep spread, but stim is still not being done, so the queens still hold their tankiness here as they're being able to even suck up a mine shot. So nice shot, finally steam is being finished here as more and more eggs are being laid out here by the queens, and yeah, in comes those Hellions towards this location. Queens are in close position. REYNOR is trying to kill those frogs, as I believe he's going for a timing push with many Zerglings. Yes, so much creep being spread out on the map, so MARU really has to punish this. But is it going to be too late for him, as so many eggs are still here inbound? Yeah, the queens are still spreading more and more of those that creep around the map. At the same time, REYNOR also taking his expansion, so quite strong stuff, as the attack I believe is being prepared here for REYNOR with some banelings. Let's see, there's a nice wall of being prepared here for MARU. Once again with his engineering bay in the front, so many marines are also being spawned. So steam is also ready, as MARU now finally being successful into targeting those eggs. But in the end, REYNOR coming in from the back, he might try to go for a surround maneuver here versus MARU, so MARU could be surrounded really soon. Needs to be careful, the queens are also here, the Zerglings, some banings should also be on the ground, as he's getting a great flank and he's going to kill this one tank. At least he should be able to kill it, and the banings are getting some great connections. MARU has to pick up and retreat here, so that's the job. Even the tank is getting picked up, some marines are on the ground. Let's follow up, but yeah, REYNOR nicely punishing here MARU. MARU tried another timing push, but in the end REYNOR was there to intercept. He was ready to flank that nice engagement here. So let's have a look. The marines are also punishing for, but REYNOR might try to go for a counter-attack with the Zerglings, with the banings. Might even try to abandon this expansion and just deal more and more damage into the main from MARU, perhaps targeting the production buildings. As the queens are once again going for a flank. Some banings are here as well. REYNOR expect to attack those reinforcements, but MARU is there with his water turrets, but the banings getting some good connections. 2 SCVs have been killed. Actually, more and more SCVs are getting killed, even those SCVs could be killed here. Although it's actually going for the other SCVs, so 13 SCVs have been killed. Nice job here by REYNOR. MARU is spawning, of course, by snapping this one expansion really fast. So yeah, army was 60 to 60, but MARU dropping into 43 supply of workers. So REYNOR once again stopping this one timing push from MARU, as MARU once again tries to pick up here, of course, now knows that he has to punish the economy from REYNOR as quickly as he's behind into workers. And yeah, let's see, the REYNOR Zerglings and banings are still in position. Same can be said for MARU as he's roaming around the middle of the map and to try to snap the economy, but REYNOR seems to be prepared for that, as he's also going once again into a Hydrolist den. So Hydro City is going to be once again for him. It's like in game number 3, let's just see if this is going to be working out for him. Lurkers could also be a possibility. And still so many queens are out on the map for REYNOR. He has some queens at home, but MARU could punish this really strong with some drops, with some marine drops. I believe this is exactly what is being prepared here, but the creep highway once again, such a strong stuff here by REYNOR, as just has that creep above the half-minute mark here, above half of the map here, so much creep is being spread. And finally MARU pushes here forward. There is a spore here to defend this base, but it's another spore here as well, and the marines will get trapped. But yeah, that creep being able to secure his dislocation, actually that creep just really important for REYNOR, just being able for him to retreat with his Zerglings and banelings just to hold the position. And yeah, with those Hydros he should be of course having a quite strong position here. The queens are nicely heating themselves up, so great counter towards the stimmed marines. And very soon I believe we're going to have some Hydros. Yes, indeed, there they are. Hydros are being produced here for REYNOR. Yeah, there they are. And yeah, lurkers would also be a nice possibility here for him. as REYNOR, I believe, once again is going to try to attack here. He has the high ground, he has the better position. The Hydras are in position here, such a huge amount of Hydras for him. And the MARU still tries to snipe hatchery after hatchery, but yeah, the Queens are nicely blocking here the entrance, so MARU still roaming around the map and still stays at 61 workers, so that's very interesting for him, going more heavily into those attacking units. But the Banings are getting some good connection and the Hydras are in the back. Seeker Mine now nicely being targeted, those units, and yeah, so much damage is going to be taken by the Zerg against his armor. So look what exactly is going to happen here. MARU nicely tries to spread those units just to avoid the Banings attacks. But yeah, some Banings do make it here forward, however the mines are nicely reacting now for him as he's able to take out so much of those units. Even the Queen have to come back, of course, to heal up the Hydras. So this position has been a little bit abandoned here for REYNOR, as MARU might try to punish this, but in the same time is pretty much being flanked here by REYNOR. So once again the Hydras show us their strategic position here, their strategic strengths here against the Queens. Nicely done by REYNOR, as REYNOR just spreading more and more of that creep around the map. MARU realizes this as he's moving forward towards the expansion point. Just a small task force able here for REYNOR to protect, but the creep highway once again shows his strengths as the Zerglings will be able to come here from the back. Some mines do get some good connections, but yeah, MARU in the end has to pick up and he has to retreat. But the Hydras could get a good interception here. The Medivacs are really slow, but there's no creep here, so luckily here for MARU he's able to escape. But REYNOR looks like he's not being done. He's pushing here forward, at the same time he's defending at home, as I see at the minimap. But yeah, MARU should be able to hold this location. The Queens are holding there, so nice job here by REYNOR, being more and more aggressive, showing more and more presence here on the map versus MARU. Yeah, MARU once again tries to push here forward with his Marines. The Queens are in position, they will not abandon their eggs, they will be spawning more and more of those eggs, and they're good Vipers, so a good Widow Mine shot here. Still more and more of that creep is getting spreaded. I believe really soon REYNOR is going to be knocking at the door from this one expansion point, as MARU tries of course to push here forward with his Marine, with his infantry, and he has so many Marauders now, so Marauders seems to be the answer for him against those Hydras, and some Banings could of course be the answer from REYNOR. But at the same time we see a nice drop here behind the enemy lines from MARU. However the Queens are in position to hold. MARU tries to attack on two fronts. Some SCVs have fallen here as well, so REYNOR as well attacking here the planetary fortress, killing 11 SCVs, so nice pick up by him. At the same time MARU tries to drop here into this location, taking out some of those workers as well as he's kiting towards them. So great job here by him, sniping one drone after the other, but a nice drop and a great scan just to take out the units. But now MARU has to run with his Medivacs against Queens. Again, he's going to be able to hold. Not only that, but he might even try to drop his units here, having a good position into this one corner. But yeah, in comes REYNOR, who is able to defend this one. Medivac has fallen here as well. And yeah, nice interesting game, back and forward game we have here in between the two pros. Some Banings will try to get some connections here, but yeah, MARU still being present here, so REYNOR needs to be careful against those units. Now the Medivacs are pretty much exposed here, so he needs to be very careful. There might be some units to intercept, you know, he's just pretty much going to drop once again. The Queen might take out a Medivac or two. No, the Marines are still pretty much alive. The Medivacs are nicely being migrated 2 HP into this one. Finally it's getting taken out. So MARU playing with fire here, and of course he's getting punished by REYNOR. Of course he's going to take out some of those drones once again. Crazy micro here by him, just showing us how much strength there could be into the Terrans. At the same time we see a strong engagement in the middle of the map, but there are so many lurkers on the ground now, so MARU has to run. There's even some Vipers in the air. So yeah, REYNOR looking like a really more dominant gameplay here by him, as he's almost being supplied up. And yeah, MARU tries of course to spread his units, nicely kiting back and forth, but the Banings are still getting some connections. REYNOR is going to try to lure those units into the lurkers. But yeah, MARU really crazy micro by him. Still economic wise he's behind, still worker wise he's behind, and army wise as well. So the siege continues now here for REYNOR as he's pushing forward against those mines, nicely evading those shots. And yeah, more and more is being added by him. Such a strong force. Even the Vipers in the background was to use perhaps blinding clouds against the tanks. So yeah, in come the Vipers. Let's just see what they've been doing. Oh, they're going to harpoon this one, a tank into those Zerglings. And yeah, MARU I believe has to retreat here. There's so many lurkers all on the ground. He's nicely scanning the area, but there's hiders in the back. There's blinding clouds all over the place. Lots and lots of flash damage. Great Zerglings in front. MARU still steaming up, but so much HP has been lost here by him. And yes, indeed, REYNOR is going to be able to take this game number 4. It is 2. And we're back with game number 5 in between the two pro players. Whoever wins this is going to take this series. A very interesting series here by them. As they're spawning here on Delta C, so in the lower left in the purple it is REYNOR from Italy, and his opponent in the upper right in the yellow it is MARU from South Korea. So like I told you, who takes this game is going to win the series, the best of 5. A very interesting matchup here by them. Let's just see what their build orders is going to be once again. Supply depot for MARU. And is he going to be once again greedy into going for that fast expansion? At the same time, we don't see a fast spawning pool for REYNOR. He might try to go for a fast expansion as well for him, so the pretty standard stuff by him. And MARU also decides to play it really safe with his barracks at home, and the gas is also being produced. So we have the same builder just like in the previous game, nothing out of the ordinary, just the pretty standard stuff. Perhaps a small difference here for MARU as he's not deciding to go for a fast expansion. He's going for the pretty standard stuff. Barracks into supply depot, actually into barracks. And let's have a look. REYNOR will of course continue with his spawning pool, with his extractor here. Or is he? Yes indeed, there is his build order. So yeah, just like many Zergs, the pretty standard stuff by him as well. He's also scouting the proximity for the proxy barracks. But yeah, just like I told you previously, I haven't seen MARU go for a proxy barracks attack in a very long time, so I believe he's playing much more safer, having of course much more respect towards REYNOR and his opponents. And yeah, he's also preparing his expansion point on Data C here with some rocks here as well. So the pretty standard stuff. We might also see once again REYNOR to go for his second expansion build order into this location. So pretty standard stuff here by him. Orbital is being done, and more mules are being called out here for MARU. We can see the production tab here in the upper left part, just in case I'm missing something. So yeah, let's see, some gas is being mined. Just one drone I believe is mining gas for this speed, so no intentions yet for REYNOR into going perhaps for a timing push with some roaches, with some ravagers and some banings. Just mining this one, 100 gas I believe it is for that speed. And yeah, his overload is of course also nicely inbound here, just to check exactly what MARU is going for. Actually check, it's going for one barracks, one factory. Could be a starport really soon for him as well, as he might try to attack his opponent really soon with some drops, with some medivacs. It could be a possibility. Some Zerglings are actually out on the map, but one Marine, actually 3 Marines here, even 4, will be able to take care of this. The factories are being swapped with the barracks. Some Zerglings will fall, and there's this one starport. So we might see once again double Hellions here for MARU. Yes indeed, double Hellion it is going to be. It might be a timing drop by MARU really soon. And let's see, some defenses should of course be ready for REYNOR really soon, with some queens, even with some spores. And let's just check if REYNOR once again will be going for his Hydra build order. But in the meantime, MARU actually feeling really confident with his Marines. He's going to be able to take some damage against this one hatchery. He might even try to snipe one queen or two. The Marines are of course faster on the ground than the queens. And yeah, let's just see what exactly the next options are going to be. Medivac indeed is going to be with double Widow Mines, so I don't see any Hellions. Oh, there are the Hellions. And we will very likely see a Widow Mine drop really soon. Perhaps even 4 Widow Mines are being prepared here for MARU. So yeah, let's have a look what exactly his plans are. Indeed, he might try to wait for those 4 Widow Mines to pop out, then pick them up, and then just try to attack the expansion points from REYNOR. This could be really deadly. He needs a spore to detect those units, even an overseer if possible, as more drones will be spawned here for him. The income, the pickup, there it is. MARU heading straight, I believe, towards this expansion point. It's a little bit exposed. The queens are quite out on the map. Nice spread here of those overloads by REYNOR, as we're slowly but steadily closing to the 5-minute mark. And yes, some Helens also will try to distract here REYNOR, but the real damage dealers will of course be those Widow Mines. So let's see where exactly he's heading. I believe straight towards the main, or perhaps this location. There's just one queen defending. There's the Baneling's Nest. So it could be 2 mines being dropped here into these locations and 2 into the main. Let's just see. In comes the drop with that boost. And yeah, 1 mine is getting dropped, the second one here as well, as he's going more for more and more. Might try to even intercept those units. MARU needs to be careful. No damage has been taken yet by REYNOR. So much splash damage potential here for him. And yeah, finally 4 drones will be sniped. This is even going to pick up the Widow Mines, but the Widow Mines are pretty much alive here. So nice micro here once again by MARU, showing us the strengths from the Terrans. At the same time, tier 2 is about to get finished here for REYNOR. So you might see him go once again for those hydros. He even might be a surprise to go for some Mutalisk. Baneling's Nest has been done. Yeah, things have settled down a little bit, but we see once again MARU go for mass infantry units. So interesting enough, he's not going for those mass mechanics units. But yeah, some Zerglings will fall here as well. At the same time, 8 workers have fallen here, so quite strong pickups here by MARU with those Widow Mines, showing us the strength. Finally in comes this one Spore. It had to be transferred, but yeah, great job here by MARU. 6 kills onto this one, and this finally is going to get cleared by REYNOR, but the economic damage has been done. However, REYNOR having 10 more workers here than the Terran. So yeah, nice scans go out just to stop the creep spread. Really nicely being done here by MARU. So yeah, MARU with a greater harassment, just like in the previous games, with those mines, taking quite out around 10 drones from his opponent and going really heavily into those medivacs and into that infantry. So very soon we might see him push out. Yes, indeed, there it is. 1 tank, actually 2 tanks here by MARU. So REYNOR will try, of course, to intercept. He will try to flank this, but it's quite a strong push out. At around the 6-minute and 20-second mark, in comes MARU with his push out, and here is the defenses for REYNOR. He has some Banelings, he has some Queens. Lots and lots of that creep spread is going to get spreaded here. Actually, he's going to get killed here for MARU, so really great stuff here by him. Steam is being finished. REYNOR tries to intercept from the back. He has some Banelings. And where are those tanks that actually have been picked up just to be more mobile? And then in comes the attack. The Zerg is also coming in from the back, so nice job here by REYNOR. But he needs to be careful. This one tank is pretty much being exposed. Banelings are rolling here forward, so REYNOR should be able to clean this out really soon. But he's taking quite some splash damage here out of MARU. But in the end, a great defense. So really important to have some units from the back to get a good surround versus your Terran opponent. And yeah, in the end, MARU is just being left with some stint marines. The tanks have been sniped, so REYNOR should be able to hold this location. Once again, REYNOR intercepting some units from the back. Might try to attack really soon, as some marines will also fall here as well. But yeah, the important thing here for MARU, he has lost those tanks, and he's even going to lose more and more of those tanks, as REYNOR is nicely intercepting the reinforcements. It's really important to have those Zerglings out on the map. And what's going to be the reaction here for MARU? It's going into another expansion point. At the same time, he's still keeping the pressure here for against REYNOR. This is just more and more attacking here his units with those marines. And he's nicely kiting back and forward, as the reinforcements will once again be intercepted. So REYNOR once again with a better game here, holding that attack, nicely intercepting the reinforcements. MARU still punishing, he's still moving here forward with his medivacs, with his infantry. And let's see what exactly is going to happen. MARU might try to attack on 2 different fronts here versus his opponent. Let's see, it's quite a strong force here of Zerglings and Banelings just ready to intercept the units from MARU. MARU just holds his ground here currently. We're slowly but steadily closing at the 10-minute mark. So yeah, both players have to be really careful. Whoever wins this, take the series. As yeah, in comes MARU on a double attack once again, going for this one Overlord, and at the same time also pushing here forward. But he needs to be careful against those Zerglings, so let's see. It's also moving here forward with this other small task force. Queens are ready to build themselves up. In come the Zerglings from the back. MARU has to react, he has to pick up really soon. And yeah, one medivac sadly for him has been sniped, so REYNOR with a great defense, a great creep spread as well. Look at that, he's already made it here past the middle of the map, so MARU perhaps has to be more careful. He has to scan more areas and just to snipe those creep eggs from the queens. And yeah, in the end, MARU just picking up. Might try to attack. There should be some spores here for REYNOR. A good position being found here by MARU. Sometimes he's also attacking here in the middle of the map, so let's just see what's going to happen. And in comes REYNOR with some Zerglings to hold off. But yeah, great defense. So somehow MARU tries of course to bust here forward. He almost sniped one creep, one queen. And yeah, more and more creep is getting spread, so I believe REYNOR really soon is going to try to prepare a whole full launch attack here against MARU. Let's just see if this indeed is his plans. Yes, MARU of course tries to keep the Zerg at bay with his medivacs, with his infantry. Good connection with those ones. Actually, those were the widow ones taking out the banelings. So really nice job here. So many more Marauders are now into the game. So Marauder much more tankier unit, but still in come the banelings, in come the Zerglings. There's so much damage being taken left and right. However, REYNOR losing more and more of those units, and MARU just being able to pick up his units. At the same time, once again preparing an attack with a small task force here, but yeah, REYNOR nicely defending here versus his opponent, and even more and more creep is getting spread. It's really insane how much creep is getting spread, as the queens will very likely try to intercept here, but MARU heads straight towards this one expansion point. In come the banelings, in come the Zerglings, so he has to be pushing up here as well once again. Hey, in come the Marauders once again, in come those widow mines. Yeah, more and more is being added here by MARU. His reinforcements are pulling forward. The high ground is over here for the Zerg, so it's a good spread for MARU. He has widow mines to back up his units. The banelings might get sniped here, so let's see the nice spread here for MARU. Still so much more damage is being taken actually here by REYNOR, so REYNOR in some serious trouble. He has some mutilisk, so an interesting look here by him going into mutilisk and not going into hydras. Is this going to be a wise decision by him, as there's so many marines on the ground? It's still REYNOR actually sadly for him, he has to abandon this location, so many drones will have to be transferred here, and the hatchery has fallen here as well. So MARU taking out this hatchery, really great stuff here by him. I don't know if mutilisk were the wise decision here by REYNOR, as widow mines will of course be ready to intercept those mutilisk. Marines are also really good with steam, and he's actually going for this other expansion point. Yeah, SERRAL might try to surround him here once again, but so many Marauders on the ground, and the mutilisk, I don't see them yet. They try of course to snipe those medivacs, but the widow mines are here ready to intercept as the reinforcements are moving forward. So sadly here for REYNOR, he has lost another hatchery, and things getting really hard for him, as MARU just keep kiting here back and forth. But yeah, sadly here for REYNOR, I don't think that mutilisk could have been a wise decision. Perhaps better early on to snap the economy here, perhaps to punish the economy from the Terran, but in the late game mutilisk, especially against thin marines and widow mines, of course, very hard to execute unless it's high numbers of mutilisk. So yeah, MARU taking this series 3-2, a quite interesting series, especially game number 1. And yeah, great stuff here by both players. Congratulations to MARU for taking this one. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this best of 5 series. We'll be seeing, of course, in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.